Everywhere we turn today, there is noise. Our phones buzz with endless notifications. News headlines scream disasters. Social media pulls us into comparison, envy, and outrage. In this chaos, the modern mind struggles to find clarity. We make decisions not from wisdom, but from panic, distraction, or impulse. And yet, over 2,000 years ago, the Stoic philosophers faced a world no less chaotic. Plagues, wars, political betrayals, and discovered a way to remain calm, clear, and wise. They left us lessons not only to survive chaos, but to rise above it with strength and serenity. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and comment below. Your support allows us to share more timeless Stoic teachings and to build a community where wisdom triumphs over noise. The Stoic quest for clarity. The Stoics believed that wisdom is not found in accumulating knowledge, but in living with clear judgment. Epictetus taught, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." Why? Because wisdom often means ignoring the noise around us, the gossip, the trends, the false urgencies, and focusing on what is real. When we live without clarity, chaos controls us. We rush into bad decisions, spend energy on things beyond our control, and drown in anxiety. But when we cultivate wisdom, we see through illusions. We make decisions not from fear, but from reason. That is how the Stoics trained their minds to stay calm in the storms of life. Marcus Aurelius, calm amid crisis. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, lived in chaos far greater than most of us today. He led armies against invading tribes, faced endless political conspiracies, and endured the Antonine Plague that killed millions. And yet, in his meditations, he wrote to himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Imagine the pressure he carried. Millions of lives depended on his judgment, yet he returned again and again to clarity of mind. His strength was not in eliminating chaos, but in refusing to let chaos dictate his decisions. If Marcus could stay calm while holding an empire together, surely we can find calm in our daily storms. The dichotomy of control, the first filter of wisdom. At the heart of Stoic wisdom lies the dichotomy of control. Life is divided into two realms. What we can control, our actions, choices, judgments, and attitudes. What we cannot control, other people's opinions, the weather, the economy, the past. Most of our chaos comes from confusing these two. We obsess over what others think, rage at circumstances we cannot change, and waste energy on things outside our grasp. The Stoic path is to release everything beyond our control and to focus entirely on what is within. Epictetus put it simply, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control and some things are not. This principle clears the fog. When faced with any decision, ask, is this within my control? If yes, act wisely. If no, let it go. This one question dissolves chaos into clarity. Seneca and the storms of fortune. Seneca, another great Stoic, reminded us that fortune is unpredictable. Wealth, status, and even health can vanish in a day. He wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." Wisdom, for Seneca, was freedom from the false values of society. In chaotic times, people often chase temporary comforts or quick solutions. But Seneca's clarity teaches us to anchor decisions not in desire or fear, but in virtue. He argued that the wise person is rich not because of possessions, but because of self-control. Imagine how liberating that is in today's consumer-driven chaos. To know that wisdom, not wealth, is the real measure of success. Practical Stoic practices for clarity. The Stoics were not abstract philosophers, they were practical trainers of the mind. Here are some of their most powerful practices for staying clear and calm. Journaling. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations was his private journal, never meant for anyone else. He wrote daily to remind himself of Stoic truths, to question his impulses, and to guide his decisions. Journaling clears the noise of the mind by forcing thoughts onto paper. Reflection. Seneca practiced nightly reflection. He asked, "What bad habit have you cured today? What fault have you resisted? In what respect are you better?" Reflection is a compass. It realigns us to wisdom when chaos pulls us astray. Premeditatio malorum. The premeditation of evils. The Stoics practiced imagining potential setbacks each day, failure, insult, illness, not to dwell on fear, but to prepare the mind. By expecting challenges, they neutralized panic when challenges came. Negative visualization. Seneca suggested imagining life without the things we take for granted: a friend, a home, even life itself. This practice clarifies what truly matters and prevents us from clinging to illusions in times of chaos. Pause before reaction. Epictetus taught that between stimulus and response lies our freedom. When anger, fear, or temptation rises, pausing gives space for wisdom to guide action instead of chaos. Resisting the noise of the world. We live in a society that thrives on chaos. Advertisers want to stir desire. Politicians want to stir fear. Social media thrives on outrage. If we are not careful, our minds become battlegrounds for forces we do not even see. The Stoics warned of this long ago. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes on the color of your thoughts. If we constantly consume noise, our minds become noisy. But if we cultivate silence, reflection, and virtue, our minds become clear." This is why Stoics valued solitude, not to escape life, but to sharpen clarity. In quiet moments, we see what is truly important. Without them, chaos makes our decisions for us. Clarity in decision-making. How does wisdom actually improve decisions? Let us take a modern example. Imagine you receive a hurtful message online. Chaos says, react immediately. Insult them back. Defend your pride. Wisdom says, pause. Is this within my control? Will this matter tomorrow? What action reflects my values? That moment of clarity turns a potential conflict into an opportunity for self-mastery. Or consider financial stress. Chaos says, panic. Desperately chase quick money. Envy others. Wisdom says, what is within my control? Can I reduce expenses, seek new skills, remain disciplined? The rest is fate. Again, clarity transforms anxiety into action. Every wise decision comes from stepping back, filtering chaos through Stoic principles, and then acting with calm purpose. Epictetus. Freedom in the mind. Epictetus, who began life as a slave, knew chaos intimately. Yet he taught that no one can enslave the mind of a wise person. He said, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." In other words, wisdom replaces judgment of others with self-examination. Chaos points fingers. Wisdom turns inward. This shift frees us from being controlled by other people's actions. Instead of reacting blindly, we cultivate clarity and growth. Modern applications of Stoic wisdom. Today, Stoic clarity is more valuable than ever. In business, leaders who practice Stoic calm make better choices under pressure. In personal life, partners who respond with wisdom rather than impulse build stronger relationships. In health, those who accept what cannot be controlled, illness, aging, mortality, live with greater peace. Think of the person who loses a job. Chaos whispers, your life is over. Wisdom responds, what is within my control? I can learn, adapt, and seek new opportunities. That clarity transforms despair into resilience. Or think of someone drowning in social comparison. Chaos says, you are behind, everyone else is ahead. Wisdom says, their path is theirs, my path is mine. Virtue is my measure, not vanity, that clarity restores peace. training the mind. Daily wisdom is not a gift, it is a discipline. Just as an athlete trains the body, the Stoic trains the mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote daily reminders to himself not because he forgot the philosophy, but because he needed constant training. So too must we. Each day we must journal, reflect, visualize, pause, and question. Is this within my control? Is this in line with virtue? Will this matter in the long run? Slowly, the fog of chaos clears, and wisdom becomes our natural state. Why wisdom over chaos matters. Now we live in a world of endless distractions. Anxiety, stress, and burnout are at record highs. People feel powerless and lost. Stoic wisdom is not a luxury, it is survival. It teaches us to detach from noise, to focus on what is essential, and to live with clarity. Imagine if more people acted from wisdom instead of impulse. Conflicts would de-escalate, decisions would be thoughtful, lives would be calmer and fuller. This is not fantasy, it is a choice, made moment by moment, to practice wisdom over chaos. Conclusion: chaos will always exist. The world will always be noisy, unpredictable, and turbulent. But within you lies the power to rise above it. The Stoics showed us how. Focus on what you can control, release what you cannot, train the mind daily, and let virtue guide your choices. Seneca, Marcus, and Epictetus lived in times of war, slavery, and plague, yet they remained clear, calm, and wise. If they could do it, so can we. The art of wisdom is not escaping chaos, it is seeing clearly within it, and making decisions that align with reason and virtue. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, remember, chaos is loud, but wisdom is quiet. Seek the quiet, cultivate it, live by it. That is how we reclaim clarity in a world gone mad. That is how we choose wisdom over chaos. Thank you for watching. If this message inspired you, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment below. Share your own experiences of finding clarity in chaos, and let us know how Stoic wisdom has shaped your decisions. Together, we can bring more light, more clarity, and more wisdom into this noisy world.